one of the really exciting things about my line of work are the emergency jobs. The jobs where you've got to do some real creative thinking and be very careful about what you cut as well as what you don't cut. Because you can certainly make things a whole lot worse. You can make the job where somebody gets hurt, or you can increase the amount of damage that the tree will continue to do. There's so many things that happen when a branch or a tree falls and hits a structure. Everything is kind of in reverse. You've got the pressure being pushed down on the limb. So if you come in and start cutting from the top and working your way down, things are going to pinch. Your saw is going to jam up. And this particular tree had an incredible amount of internal rot, decay, and ants. Oh my God, the ants in this tree. Oh, you're going to see. I showed a lot of the ants as I go along. This is a fairly long video, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's kind of long and drawn out, but there's a lot of good information, and you'll see some of the tricks that I figured out on how to do this job. The one thing I wasn't prepared for, though, was being attacked by the ants. They came out in numbers, and throughout the entire job, I mean, both Kyle and myself were just in pain. These are biting ants. They came out and they latched down on your skin. Oh God, it gets my skin crawling just watching this video as I'm doing this voiceover. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. It's an interesting video. There's a lot you can learn from it. But ants! God, I hate ants. Let's go. Okay. This is a Modesto Ash, and it's clearly split. So when you have a situation like this and the tree is resting on the house, the first thing that you got to do is you got to figure out what's holding it up. And you don't want to make the wrong cut, because you can make things worse. Everything can fall apart. So there's a lot of branches on here that I've clearly identified as not holding any of this. So first thing we want to do is clear all that stuff out of there. So this one down here, this is not touching anything. So we can clearly get this all out of our way. This big one up here is resting on the roof where it damaged the roof. So we can get this off right to the edge of the roof, but you don't want to cut any further yet, otherwise it'll roll and possibly cause more damage. This one over here is the one that I'm a little bit sketchy about, because it's touching the fence, it's touching that little tin shed, which it hasn't destroyed yet, and it looks like it's touching over there. So pretty much what we want to do is get all of the weight off of this thing up to the points where they're touching. And at that point, then we want to figure out some way of supporting this, either with a cable up high from a crane, which we can't get in here, possibly a rope further up in the tree, and I'm not too impressed with that possibility because there's nothing good to tie into. So today I think what we're going to do is we're going to put some props under this tree. But first things first, let's get rid of all of the superfluous stuff. Get everything out of the way so we can make it lighter and lighter and lighter, and then we'll see what happens. You get you?
Oh shit, you hear him falling? Sorry.
Holy mackerel, it's like they're just pouring out of there. Oh my god. The ants are out of control. I wonder how far up the log, or down the log it goes. And the whole tree is a big ant nest. Everything is rotten and brittle. Ah, damn! Oh god, it just dug into me.
Oh my gosh! Alright, quiet for the audio.
God, there's ants everywhere.
Carpenters, look at all this nice woodwork they've been doing. It'd be cool to like pour resin in there, like get all the ants out and pour resin in there.
Oh, and save it as an ant colony?
Or some sort of...
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Clear resin to show what it's like. That is kind of a cool idea. Everybody's using resin to make river tables.
Yeah.
Let's use resin to make an ant colony table.
Ah!
They're all over. They're pouring. They're raining on the ground. There's so many ants coming out of this tree. I don't even want to get close to it. Look at, you can't even see that.
How much can we pay you to take your shirt off and stand under it?
Oh man! I'll tell you what. You take your shirt off and stand underneath it. I'll put it on video, and this will be a viral video for sure.
Okay.
Just go for it, man.
So
do it on your skateboard.
So I get to do it for the viral aspect, or you get to view
the stupidity of it. I wouldn't do it.
Okay. How did it get all the way up there?
They climb up your feet, then they're going up your legs, anywhere you walk. Damn. Yeah. This is like a minefield out here. Anywhere you stand, you're gonna get.
Blair, we're gonna have to charge a little more for this.
You know, I don't think we need a full-on A-frame for this. So what I want to do is I want to get up there now, and I want to use a pencil, and I want to draw the first cut line, and then I want to cut a little bit of an indent in here, and then I want to put it up there at an angle and then beat it in so it kind of captures that area right there. It's just going to be one straight piece, straight up and down, but I got to get the first flat.
Yeah.
What do you think? Think that's going to do it? So what I want to do next is I want to get all that weight off on the right hand side back to here. And then I can start cutting on the roof and working my way all the way back just to this piece. And the last thing I have to worry about is this. And that I might rope to the tree. These damn ants, I tell you, they're everywhere. I don't even want to stand over there. Okay. When I get this weight off, at some point, this is going to be supporting this whole chunk of wood with this. Right now, the weight is primarily on the edge of the roof, with a little bit over there, and that's more of a balance point. So when I get it all the way back, I do have a bit of a concern that when I do get it off of the roof and get it all the way back, this piece may have sort of a wobble to it, which would have been a good call for an A-frame, but I think I'm okay with this. I hope I am. It's good and solid. I mean, it's in there. It's not loose at all. Damn ants. Ah, damn. Okay, this over here has got a lot of pressure on it. Let me just undercut it slow. Good. That wasn't as bad as I thought. Let's go down. Oh, now they're mad. They're sharp, man. Ow! That one's biting me in the neck. Ooh. Biting down hard. Geez, I could have mine just to leave, come back to this. Ah. Oh, I got one in my ear. Damn. God. Isn't tree work fun? Watch these nails up here, see them? Damn. Yeah. Shut that camera off. Where I look. If I can get it all the way back to that point,
Yeah.
then I think we can just sort of flop it over and it'll go onto the ground. It's gonna rip, but this tree's got to come down. This tree's a disaster. They're everywhere. We should get the blower out and blow all this stuff off first. Yeah. This makes a mess. And my concern, everything up there is just as weak as this. So if I try to rope this big chunk of wood off of something up there, I might tear it off. So we're talking about just busting this thing out of here and letting this thing rip down. I suppose I could throw a rope over this and tie it to that, and that'll give it something to keep from bouncing out of the way. I think I'm going to do that. That's a good idea, Kyle. I don't think we need to do that. If I throw a rope over this crotch and tie it right here, and you stand over there,
Yeah.
you can control the butt end of it. It's going to come down, but it'll keep it from flying all over the place. It's going to rip, and it's going to rip down the trunk here, but this tree's got to come down, so I'm not too concerned about what it looks like. This tree is a ticking time bomb, and I told him that 2 years ago when we did this.